YouTube, it's DLloyd. So during the middle of the night, we finally got the James Harden trade between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Los Angeles Clippers, and it is definitely one heck of a trade. So, of course, the trade would not happen any other time except when pretty much everybody is asleep. I know I am Pacific time, so I'm a little late to the story, but I also wanted to digest the trade when I seen it this morning and really come up with my true feelings about this trade, because I can see pros and cons, but generally now I do have a pretty firm opinion on how I feel this trade went. And I'll just say right away, I don't think it was too good for the Clippers. But let's start with Philadelphia and what they received in the trade package. They're going to get Marcus Morris, Nicholas Batum, Robert Covington, KJ Martin. They're going to get multiple draft picks. So to my knowledge, I think it could still change. But to my knowledge right now, I know they are getting a 24 and a 29 second round pick. And they're getting a 26 first round pick that is protected from OKC. I'm hearing there could be a potential swap in there. I'm not really sure if that is going to be the end of it when it comes to the draft picks or not, but that is what we know is included as of right now. And I want to say for Philly, this is not that bad of a haul, because you were competing with only one team, and that was the Clippers. They were the only teams really negotiating to get James Harden, and the James Harden situation was getting worse and worse. You knew he wasn't going to play, so it was really just a matter of time on when you shipped him out, and the Clippers started the season pretty solid. So to get really anything back to fill out the depth and the bench for your team and get pieces that fit for what you currently have, I don't think it's bad. I believe both Marcus Morris and Nicholas Batum will have solid roles there. Robert Covington as well. He provides 3 and D. Hasn't got off to a great start this season, but I do think in a new environment, in a new role, he can also find success. I like KJ Martin, still a young guy as well, that you could see if he could be part of the future long term, but still a young guy with some upside that could definitely be a valuable piece for you. And now you did have to get rid of Danny Green. They did waive Danny Green to make room for this trade to get completed. But I like what you put around Tyrese Maxey, who's now going to have to step up and play a bigger role than, of course, Joel Embiid. Maxey averaging 30 this season. He had a great season last year, and you've seen him just ascend year in and year out. So Maxey's going to step up. I have no issues with Tyrese Maxey. I think he will do just that. And I'm going to say right now, I think he's going to be an all-star this season. So you have Maxey with Embiid. Now you get some shooting around you. I definitely do like this move, especially because the only other team that was in the running was just the Clippers. So you were able to get something for, a team that was bidding against themselves. Anytime that happens, obviously you're not going to get crazy value, but I'm not mad at this value right here when you consider everything that took place. Now, where I do not like the trade is on the Clippers side of it. Yes, if you look at the starting lineup now, they got James Harden. You're going to have Russell Westbrook. You're going to have Kawhi. You're going to have Paul George, and you're going to have Zubac. That's a great starting 5, especially in NBA 2K. However, you did lose some depth pieces. You were able to retain Terrence Mann, and they did not want to get rid of Terrence Mann. So that is a win. So they had to compromise probably with more picks or additional assets if they were going to keep Terrence Mann. So they did keep Terrence Mann. That's a win. I guess that's the really only win, in my opinion, for the Clippers when it comes to this trade. I have seen a lot of people say they didn't give up a lot in terms of assets, but you lose depth. And with the Clippers, that is important. Why? Because this is a team riddled with injuries, right? You never know when Kawhi goes down, when Paul George is going to go down. Russell Westbrook, pretty consistent, but his play is up and down. And now you add James Harden, and you don't really know what you're going to get out of James Harden. You now have a big 4, essentially. But how is that going to play out? How is that going to play out during the regular season? You now have to get accustomed to new roles. Where do I stand on the court? How much am I going to have the ball, especially a ball-dominant guy like James Harden? We've seen him at Westbrook before, back in 2019 with the Houston Rockets. It didn't look as good as James Harden with Chris Paul, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how this shapes up. It's really going to be interesting to see how it shapes up. The one guy I really don't think is going to affect it all is going to be Paul George. Paul George has been having a really good season so far, and Paul George could really play off, but he could play with anybody because of his off-ball ability, right? He could catch and shoot with the best of them. He could still play defense. he is fine. Kawhi, to a lesser extent, but he could play a little bit off ball. James Harden, I think he's going to need it. He's going to need the ball. Russell Westbrook, pretty much the same thing. He's going to need the ball. You lose depth. And when you're the Clippers, you got to look at it. This is really do or die. You have to win this season because you don't know if you're going to be able to retain these veteran players in Kawhi or Paul George. And if you do, you're probably going to have to overpay for guys that couldn't get it done when they were younger. So if they're not getting it done now, it's going to be tougher when you're paying them or overpaying them, 2-3 years to get it done then. So this Clippers experiment is really down to this season. This is going to be a very important season, and they probably at least need to make the finals if they don't win it. So putting it all on the line with James Harden, I don't like that fit, and that's why I'm not a fan of the trade. I get it. I understand it. You keep Terrence Mann, who you just refusing to get rid of, who is 27 years old, but they whatever reason they wanted to keep Terrence Mann. You get rid of depth, and now you got to ball out with your main four guys and hope they stay healthy, hope they learn how to gel, and hope they can still win in a very stacked Western Conference. Even with all four healthy, are they beating a Denver team? Are they beating a Phoenix team? Who knows, man? Who knows? Definitely going to be tough. But that is my opinions, man. I'm not a huge fan of it for the Clippers. I like it for Philadelphia, all things considered. But you guys let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. It's DLloyd. I'm see you next time.